That's gonna mess me up. I need to go like here, and then when I'm done, I'll do it.
I do that too.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. We're so glad you're here. Ours is a pluralistic faith community that draws wisdom from the world's religions as well as our own experiences of the divine and chooses to come together in a covenantal community. We believe in deeds, not creeds. And what we do in this life matters because not all of us agree about what happens in the next life, or even if there is a next life. I am Jason Pesh, your worship leader today. Marilyn Cullison is our worship assistant today. A big thank you to our ushers, accompanist Megan Smith, Tom Cullison, and Harriet and Dan on AV. Today we will enjoy a video message from Reverend Byron Tyler Coles. We thank you and welcome your message today, Rev Tyler. Do we have any visitors in the sanctuary today? Hello. Are you comfortable with sharing your name and where you're from? We can bring a microphone to you so people on Zoom can hear you. Awesome.
Hello. My name is, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Phil Paradis, and I'm from the Cincinnati area. Go to Universalist Unitarian Church in Cincinnati, and I live in northern Kentucky, and here visiting my son, who works with the North Carolina Marine Fisheries Division, and I'm glad to be here. It's a lovely part of the earth. Just great.
Welcome.
Glad to have you.
Welcome, Phil. Is there anybody else?
All right. And we have an announcement.
Wait,
Jason.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we need to figure out who's on Zoom.
The folks on Zoom today are Christy Marsh, Happy Eubank, Karen Reddy, Sarah's iPhone, and Todd Kay. That was it. Thank you.
All right. Let's all wave to the people on Zoom. Hey. All right. And now, that was just a psych earlier. So this is the announcements. Okay. All right. We have 17 appointments for our blood drive next week. If we get 21 donations, UCF will get a $100 Amazon gift card. The link to sign up is in the Wave and Coastline, or just tell Barb Thomas or Harriet Altman if you would like to sign up. And we invite everyone in the sanctuary to please silence your cell phones, and if you're sitting near the chancel, please turn off your cell phone to avoid interference with the sound system. And all those on Zoom, please turn off your cameras to conserve bandwidth. Now, will everyone please turn and greet one another? Gotta let it ring out some, you know. All right, so. Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship. My name is Jason Pesh, and my pronouns are he, they. Today we gather in a spirit of community, connection, and shared purpose. Our fellowship is rooted in the transformative power of love, justice, and the interconnectedness of all life. As many of you know, our faith tradition recently embraced a significant change. In the latest revision to Article 2 of our UUA bylaws, we have reaffirmed our commitment to place love at the very heart of our values. This change drives us to embody love in all our actions, guiding us toward a more just and compassionate world. We now embrace 6 core values: interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. These values reflect our evolving understanding and commitment to living out our faith in meaningful ways. Let us all repeat these words in unison. Come, let us worship together. Come, let us worship together. And now I invite Marilyn to assist in lighting our chalice.
Thank you. We light this chalice with love at the center, surrounded by values that shield and feed interdependence and pluralism, justice and transformation, generosity and equity. The wax is our earth, oxygen our air, vapor our water. United, may this fire burn bright. We also light our peace candle to remind ourselves that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. Unitarian Universalism believes in the right of free speech and the democratic process. Attacks like those at Saturday's political rally weaken democracy, and the Unitarian Universalist Association condemns this attack. At a time when democracy is already at risk, these events will only make our political environment more precarious. As we prepare to meet this moment, we must return to our spiritual grounding and faithful practice. Take a breath. Reflect together. Wait for emerging truth over quick speculation. Anchor yourself in communities and relationships that foster resilience, liberation, and strategy. Cultivate nuance and seek out deep wisdom, political analysis, and spiritual grounding, as misinformation will be rampant. Our UU tradition is rooted in the values of human dignity, justice, compassion, and democratic principles. We will remain vigilant in our commitment to protecting our democracy and the integrity of its principles and the rights of its people, all of them. Let us keep love at the center. We are in this together. And thus, peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but the presence of justice. Please rise as you are able and willing, and we'll sing together, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, number 126.
Come, thou fount of every blessing, tune our hearts to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. While the hope of life's perfection fills our hearts with joy and love, teach us ever to be faithful, may we still thy goodness prove. Come, thou fount of every vision, lift our eyes to what may come. See the lion and the young lamb dwell together in thy home. Hear the cry cries of war fall silent. Feel the love grow like the sun. When we all serve one another, then our heaven is begun. From the fount of inspiration, turn our lives to higher ways. Lift our gloom and desperation, show the promise of this day. Help we yield ourselves to union, help our hands to tell of love. With thine aid, O fount of justice, earth be fair as heaven above.
All right, and now it is a time for all ages. If there's any children who want to come up and hang out, we can learn a little bit about the new values.
A handy guide to the values of Unitarian Universalism. Unitarian Universalism has a set of values, ideas we believe are important. I'm going to help you learn them using my hands. Now, the values can be in any order you like. In this handy way of learning them, each one has a number, so you can follow along with your hands and fingers. We're going to start with the value of transformation. Imagine your fist as a seed. Now slowly unfurl your pointer finger like it's a sprout coming from the seed. Transformation means to adapt to a changing world and to grow spiritually. As your seed grows, it will look like the number 1. And that's how you can remember the first value, transformation. Our next value is equity. Hold up 2 fingers and turn them sideways. See how they kind of look like an equal sign? Equity means that everyone should be treated with inherent worth and dignity. This makes people feel like equals. That's how you can remember the value of equity. Value number 3 is pluralism. Hold up 3 fingers. Imagine 3 people with different ideas about God and who may have different cultures or experiences. Being able to hold many views at once and learn from each other is the value of pluralism. Our next value is justice. We're going to take our 4 fingers and curl them into a fist and hold it up high. This is a sign of strength. We need to be strong to dismantle racism and fight for justice. Value number 5 is generosity. Hold out your hand as though you were giving someone a gift. Generosity means to share the things you have that make a difference to others, like faith, presence, and resources. Our next value is love. Hold up 6 fingers. Use your pointer finger of one hand to trace a heart in the center of your other hand. Love is at the center of all of our values. Love is the power that holds us together. Our 7th value is interdependence. This is just a fancy word that means we're all connected to each other. Hold up 7 fingers. Walk your 2 fingers from one hand over to the palm of the other hand. Move them down and take a close look. Do you see how your palm is both connecting lines like a web? We are connected and depend on one another. That's how you can remember interdependence. Those are our UU values. Remember that love is at the center and runs through all of our values. You carry love and values in your open mind, helping hands, and loving heart. What will you do with your values today?
All right. Every week we make some space and time to be human and celebrate our joys and grieve our sorrows together. Should you wish to share a personal joy or concern about a person or persons in your life, there is a paper to fill out and place in the basket on your way to the chalice. After our ritual, I will read these personal joys and concerns to the congregation. We will line up over by the wall and select stones or shells to represent our joys and concerns from the basket and gently place them into the chalice of water. Megan will play piano and invite you to our stones and water ritual. This stone is for the attack that happened at the political rally. Unitarian Universalism believes in the right of free speech and the democratic process. Attacks like those on Saturday's political rally weaken democracy, and the Unitarian Universalist Association condemns this attack. And this is from Harriet Altman. So she wants us to keep her brother Skip in our prayers as he goes to Duke Friday for a new treatment for metastatic cancer. And this is from Laura. David's birthday is coming up this week on the 18th. All right. And I don't know if this is like just an announcement or a huge thank you to Devin Merkley for installing a new faucet in the kitchen. Now, by the light of this chalice, let us together take a moment to hold in our hearts all known to us and unknown who are struggling for the sorrows and concerns shared here. You may feel our sympathy and compassion. Take a moment to open our hearts to joy, ours or that of others, known to us and unknown. We join you in celebration. For all that remains unspoken, both joy and sorrow, may the caring of our community offer you kindness and hope. So please join me in singing the children out to their classes, the blessing song. Blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. What you know about God is a piece of the truth. Let beauty you love be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing I was born, and it matters what I do. What I know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty you love be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a blessing we were born, and it matters what we do. What we know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty we love be what we do, and we don't have to do it alone. Cha-cha-cha. All right. So now I'm going to read a prayer by Reverend Tyler. Spirit of life, you who are the holy mystery, here we gather once more in the face of yet another unprecedented moment in our individual and collective lives. The thoughts and feelings are numerous and complicated as we face the news of an assassination attempt and the ongoing political turmoil in our nation. We silently ask, is this who we have become? In recognition of these things, we know that our values as a nation are being put to a test, and we will no doubt be put to test in the days and weeks ahead. But as a people of faith, we turn to those lofty ideas that draws us together, hope and compassion, mutual affirmation in community, and the constant striving to change the world for the good, all of which are reflections of love. May love hold us then this day. May love transform us this day. And may love guide us as we embody our values to have hope, to be compassionate, to affirm one another in the work of life over and against harm, despair, and terror. For we are indeed each other's magnitude and harvest. These are the values which we so desperately need to make our nation whole and just. We will take pause if needed, but we will continue to strive in making ourselves, our nation, and our world new again. And for all those things spoken out aloud and held tenderly in our hearts, we pray. Amen, and so mote it be. I invite you into a moment of silence and meditation. In the spirit of love and transformation, it is a great honor to welcome the Reverend Byron Tyler Coles as our guest speaker today. Reverend Tyler is a native of Roanoke, Virginia, and is the only child of Monica and Terry. They bring a deep commitment to multiracial organizing and movement chaplaincy, striving to conjure the beloved kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. Reverend Tyler serves as a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association's Congregational Life Staff Team in the Southern region, supporting faithful leadership across the American South, Caribbean, and Northern Mexico. Their work inspires and challenges us to live out our values with courage and compassion. Let us open our hearts and minds to the message and presence of them today. We thank you, Reverend Tyler, for sharing your wisdom and spirit with us. And now, Reverend Tyler's homily, to make a place for the holy.
To laugh is to risk appearing cool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk exposing our true self. Place our ideals, our dreams before the crowd is to risk loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. And to live is to risk dying. Hello, I'm the Reverend Byron Tyler Coles, a member of your Congregational Life Staff Team in the Southern region, and I bring you greetings on behalf of all your sibling congregations across the American South, Northern Mexico, and the Caribbean. It is a gift and a blessing to be here with you this morning. I offer this morning's homily entitled, To Make a Place for the Holy. It has been just over 15 years since I first crossed the threshold into one of our congregations. I had come to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke after several years of meandering through the religious wilderness in search of sanctuary that spoke to my then 11th grade self of hope and knowing, of the eternal mystery of meaning and of purpose, and of the expanse of God made known in the form of accountability. As I passed through the front doors that morning, I was greeted by the ushers and the usual pleasantries of welcome. Now, of course, I noticed a few glances of bewilderment as my then high school self, unaccompanied by either a parent or a guardian, moved into the sanctuary and sat as far away from the others who had already claimed their place scanned through the denomination's then outdated website about its social justice efforts, and I had even poked around the congregation's webpage in hope of finding its "What We Believe" section. And still I wonder, Tyler, what in the hell are you doing here? A quarter of the way through service that morning, I began to count in my mind the number of times love was referenced. And that morning alone, there were songs and prayers about it, readings and a sermon about it, and in true UU fashion, there was a guided meditation on the matter. As soon as the service ended, the salutations of departure and hopeful return were exchanged, I bolted out of the building and into the parking lot. As I sat behind the steering wheel of my car, I pondered, what does love have to do with it? What does love have to do with any of this? Over the years, I have routinely revisited these questions in hopes of finding a useful answer in a world on fire. In my search, I realized that before we can even arrive to the answers, we must first get clear on what love is and isn't. One sensible place to begin, of course, is Tina Turner's classic offering, where she says that love is simply a second-hand emotion. A result, an outcome, dare I even say a hormonal avalanche of sorts that makes us do all types of things. It is rambunctious, fleeting, unpredictable, intoxicating even. While true, that understanding of love doesn't do much given our lived experiences and fleshy realities. For that, I turn to the insights and offerings of our tradition. Throughout the ages, our Unitarian Universalist and Unitarian Universalist predecessors spoke of a force of love that moves among and within each of us. Historically, this force was confined to a rather conventional understanding of God who bequeathed goodness onto creation. And it was through our goodness that we would reflect such back to one another. Yet, over time, we have expanded our understanding of both God and the cosmos to be one in which we have come to know love as the divine force, which shapes and sustains and reclaims all things. After all, love was the resounding value marked highest by fellow Unitarian Universalists in 2005 report from the Commission on Appraisal as it explored the theological diversity within our community. In James Baldwin's revolutionary reflection, The Fire Next Time, he writes, love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. He continues by saying he uses the word love here not merely in the personal sense, but as a state of being, or a state of grace, not in the infantile sense of being made happy, but in a tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth. In these words, we receive a tangible, rugged, and frankly clear definition of love, one that, as I might suspect, we already know, and that love is a quest of daring. Love brings no contract or guarantee, no certainty. It is an act of vulnerability with self and with those whom we open ourselves up to over and over and over again. And in our caution, and our learned disposition to close ourselves off to vulnerability due to apprehension or previous experiences, we must be brave and continue to dare at the risk of losing our spiritual center and our very humanity. We all know in some way that love exists beyond wins and goals, beyond tit for tat, upon points acquired and tasks fulfilled. Love, accountable love, really, is the force that calls us back to being responsible to who and for who we are and what we do. The love that can bounce back like a rubber band in some way following a moment exists within our reality of mutuality, between individuals and within community. In our steadfast commitments to one another, over and against our sometimes basic tendencies to posture or be right for the sake of appearing the smartest or even the most virtuous in a room. Love in its fullest sense is something that is known and understood not so much through words alone, but through the fullness of experience, through embodying it. In our context here, love is the central practice, the ultimate task of being a spiritual community. It is the glue that binds community together in the endless networks of our relationships that we conjure and sustain with one another. And it is in these relationships that our liberation is manifested and our salvation is claimed. Now, I know I just made a huge theological claim by saying that love is the source of our liberation, which gives way to our salvation. Even hearing the word salvation might stir memories that we would rather forget. But beyond the typical definitions and understanding of salvation, as to denote one being saved or brought into safety from the snares of sin, I was recently reminded, when we take a deeper, more nuanced look at the makeup of the word, at its Latin root, soul, meaning to be whole, to be complete, to be intact, not perfect, or just right, or respectable, or shiny, or anything else. Simply whole, intact. In this understanding, I can imagine that our Universalist ancestors found such truth invigorating as it might have been given away to a deep sense of wholeness in which they felt propelled in spiritual conviction. Love for them was an all-encompassing, transformative force which they welcomed and felt accountable to as the central organizing factor of their communities. And we can't underplay this. This was heretical. This was radical. This was even dangerous at the time. Yet this was indeed good news in a hard world then, as it is now. Especially now, in a moment of war and genocide, of stress and despair, in a time when it is beyond fathomable for many of us to even perceive the all too good reality that we are indeed loved. In Dr. Monica Coleman's text, Making a Way Out of No Way, a Womanist Theology, she posits that our salvation is about surviving, finding meaning and quality of life. In this, she means that the work of naming and claiming salvation is an effort akin to carving out a pathway we might take to travel through the hardness of life, which too easily and most often forces us to become hard, closed off, hesitant, disconnected from ourselves and the greater cosmos around us. This is a day-to-day endeavor that we must take upon ourselves, and hopefully in the presence of other good souls around us, as to remember who we are and to who we belong to. Karen Baker Fletcher, a fellow womanist theologian, shared that the wisdom and knowledge required to make decisions that promote survival, healing, and liberation are dependent on the power of memory. The creative power to make meaning out of the past is necessary to give a sense of direction for present and future generations. Ultimately, we must take the knowings acquired throughout our lifetime and put it to good use as to create a state and a world that reflects and magnifies our wholeness, that is, our worth and dignity. At the heart of all of this is the hard truth that we must create space within ourselves and within our communities for love to exist. For it is the force that brings about wholeness. Bell Hooks offers in Salvation Black People and Love that this might be achieved through the practice Such a love ethic roots us in a practice of self-realizing authenticity over and against respectability, to aimless survival, assimilation, and the various death-dealing ways that we grasp at accessing and executing power. For continuing to do as we always have done will continue to result in the same outcomes. Or as Coleman points out once more, when any of us act and live as if our actions and decisions only affect us, when we deny the interdependence of the world, when we act as if we are not all connected and in need of each other, we produce evil. Dear ones, now more than ever, we must take a place and must make a place for the holy to exist within and amongst us all. Our ways of being, the ways we engage our communities, the very ways that we move alongside one another is dependent on it. We must at least try to practice the vulnerability needed to make love known in such a time as this. For it is in that For it is that value, for it is in this practice that we come to make and know all that is holy. You, I, us. May we make a place for the holy, this day and in all that is ahead. Ashe, so do. And amen.
Please remain seated, and we're going to sing number 123 in the hymnal, Spirit of Life.
Would you all take out your gray hymnals for just a minute? It's nice to have the words up here, but if you turn to 123 in the gray hymnal, there's a whole lot of information in here. First of all, the music, for those of you that read music, that's helpful. If you look at the bottom, you see the words love and compassion. If you happen to be a church musician or a minister and you're looking for hymns to go with a sermon, that's very helpful. And what's really interesting to me is if you look at the bottom, where did our music come from? We've all talked about the story of, in the past, of Carolyn McDade, who wrote Spirit of Life. She had a very bad day. She came home, she sat down at her piano, and she wrote this, words and the music. And then if you look below Carolyn McDade, you see Harmony by Grace Lewis McLaren, and you see a little UU symbol out there to the side. So when you look in our hymnals and you see that UU symbol over there, that means that whoever that's next to is a Unitarian Universalist. So Grace Lewis McLaren, a name that you probably don't know, Grace Lewis McLaren is a member of the First Unitarian Church of San Diego that I knew back in many years ago. Grace Lewis McLaren sang soprano in the church choir there. When we needed somebody to serve coffee, Grace Lewis McLaren served coffee. When Ken Herman, who was the organist in San Diego, was gone, Grace Lewis McLaren was the backup organist, and she played extremely well. When we need somebody to teach in church school, Grace Lewis McLaren taught in church school. And I happened to be looking at the hymnal one time and saw Harmony by Grace Lewis McLaren. I said, did you do this? I said, yeah, it needed some harmony. So what I'd like to do, if we could, in honor of Grace Lewis McLaren and all those people who do all the stuff it takes to keep a church going, which means most of you in the room, let's sing this through one time in unison together. And a second time, if you know one of the harmony parts, which many of you do, sing one of the harmony parts. So we'll sing this through twice. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirring of compassion, blow in the wind, shape of justice. Wilt hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Word of life, come to me, come to me.
I invite our greeters to come forward to collect today's offering. Each month, the Social Justice Committee selects a local nonprofit to share the plate with UCF. All non-pledge contributions in the collection plate or online are split between the nonprofit and UCF. For the month of July, the recipient will be Citizens for Diversity in Education. This organization was founded more than 10 years ago in Carteret County to speak for, support, and mentor teachers and administrators of color at the school and district level. As CDE has grown over the years, it has started a scholarship fund with seed money from the estate of Professor Ernst Schurer, the late husband of Professor Emerita Sue Schurer, who was here, I think, last week, and explained what they do, and donations from local organizations, including UCF. Each year, several $1,000s in scholarships are awarded to graduating students of color who hope to become teachers and leaders of youth programs, and will hopefully decide to return to Carteret County to do so. Please give as generously as you can to support this worthwhile cause. Thank you. And please join us in blessing this offering with hymn number 402, From You I Receive. Would you please say the chalice extinguishing words with me? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Espanol. Extinguimos esta llama para no la luz de la verdad, o calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos las llevamos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez. Please stand as you are able and willing for our closing hymn, There Is More Love Somewhere. It's number 95.
There is more love somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
I would like to make an announcement. Last night, the Democratic office here in Moorhead was vandalized. Oh, no. Yeah, it's the beginning of the mega war. And I think that, please don't fool yourself. This isn't serious.
So for the benediction, it is UCF tradition to join hands and form anything close to a circle. However, if you prefer not to hold hands, please remain in the center of the circle and we'll surround you with the presence of love. All right. So through the power of our 6 shared values, let us leave this place with love at the center, the spaces in between and the spaces within. Blessed be, and so mote it be.
Very, very good job.
Thank you.
I don't know why these are good. I should take them up. I don't know who grabs them.
I don't know. Oh, that's the guy with the...
Yeah, so usually the
front.
people in the front, the ushers take care of that and they put them on the list.
Used to it a little bit.
You are, I can tell.
I was less ready.
It was quite.
That's why I came in an hour.
Yeah, and I. But I didn't know where she was.
And then she was, so we saw the guy on the big tube. And then we were all sitting down at the table. Using a laptop. Like, yeah. So, like,
But you did record it on
yeah, I guess so. I think Heather did. I think she got it off the laptop.
Yeah. I know Barb does that every Sunday.
One was he started beating up Republicans. He started talking about Obama being a foreigner and all this.
So I know, yeah, she wanted to use that laptop.
And they were knocking.
I'll ask her.
He's a decent guy, and I happen to disagree with him on a lot of things, but talk about his policies, don't talk about him. He's a decent guy.
What do we do with these? Do we,
You know, in the olden days, we used to publish those in the Wave, but somehow along the way, it was usually the ministers or worship leaders' responsibility. I think Reverend Micah got way behind. So I think for now, leave them here, and when Rebecca comes back, see if we can. Oh, your towel. Okay, thanks.
hand towel?
We'll get the picture and take care of it.
Oh, do you want to teach me how to do